Hello world, my name is Tim Russell. Welcome back to another daily game dev video. I'm the developer of a game called Battleborn Tactics, which you can wishlist down below. And I want to tell you what I've been up to this past week working on stuff. So this week, we got half of the biomes done. I haven't showed the Wolfgang, I haven't showed the Agent Penguins, and I haven't showed the Sheeple, the Cultist Sheeple. But today, these are the Agent Penguins. So, this game has kind of taken a little bit of a shift, right? Originally it was barn animals, and that was for a purpose, just because I was like, you know what, I don't really have time to like think, so what if we just made a bunch of different barn animals and like they could all have special abilities and stuff like that, and that could be cool. But as we kind of like started making this stuff, I started realizing that one, it's a lot easier to make multiple animals of a single type, just from an asset pipeline, and two, it actually feels better in my opinion. It feels more coherent when you go into a spot like this, right, with the Agent Penguins, and then everything's kind of around that whole central premise, and you've got a penguin, like it feels like a biome, it feels like a level, right, rather than just like, oh, this is a level with a bunch of random dudes in here. So we've really started to shift there, and as a result we've had to kind of shift away from the story and the premise of the game. So the premise originally was, I don't know, it was like an animal fight club in a barn or something, but now it's like an intergalactic battle thing. I don't have all the details worked out, but what I think I'm going to do is really go, I realize this game, the initials of it are BBT, and one of my favorite games of all time is actually Battle Block Theater, and that game has the same initials of BBT, Battleborn Tactics, Battle Block Theater, and all that. And I really love the humor of the Behemoth games, Castle Crashers, Pit People, all that stuff. I really do. I really love those games so much. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know we made a game called Space Goats 2 for a game jam, and I've decided that this is going to take place in that Space Goats universe, and as a result there is an interdimensional space clown that narrates that entire game, and I feel like I'm going to go that route, because the other kind of realization that I've had is like, this game, I'm not intending it to look like a kid's mobile game, but in a way sometimes it kind of does. I feel like pulling it away from that a little bit is going to be a good idea commercially, but also just artistically. Like, I don't necessarily want to make a kid's mobile game. I wanted to make a casual strategy game, and I kind of overcorrected too far from the deep, dark, serious tone of like cyberpunk and stuff like that to just like crazy bright colors with barn animals and shit. So I'm trying to bring it back a little bit, but these are the Agent Penguins, and the idea behind that is like, I've got some stupid funny stuff in here, obviously, like we have a dabbing Elmo penguin, but then we've got like different stuff. None of these guys have abilities yet either, so they all just kind of have a generic four-way move pattern with no abilities. We haven't gotten that far, because we're trying to launch this, you know, in August 21st is the current launch date. This guy's got badge, so we're in the process of naming them all too. They're all going to have individual names, and you capture and collect them like Pokemon, right? So like once you capture this guy, then you can start with them to kind of start with them on your next run. It's a roguelike, and you're trying to make it like into a certain amount of zones and stuff. And tying all this together, I'm really thinking about like, okay, well, why would there be Special Agent Penguin? Why would you be fighting Special Agent Penguins in Battleborn Tactics? Like, so I'm pretty sure the route that we're going now is Battleborn is going to be like an intergalactic TV show run by like a interdimensional space clown who wants to entertain himself, sort of like I said, kind of along the lines of Behemoth humor, especially like in Pit People with the giant bear and that kind of deal. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, but the art, I think, is coming together. I've got a few comments on like some of my style being inconsistent and some of my color palette being all over the place. I do agree with that. It's complicated though, because like I'm learning all this, but I'm learning all this kind of trial by fire, right? So like let me refresh this and get this running. So like, I'm learning about color palettes and all this stuff, but like at the same time I don't really have time to learn it all, because I'm shipping in August. This is like a 3-month game, right? So like, the trees are a bug, obviously. I gotta fix that bug at some point, because they just are like so out of place here, the trees and the bushes. But the colors are starting to come together. I'm starting to get, I feel like I'm starting to pay attention more to colors and how they mix together and how they kind of work well. Like the background colors are actually designed directly off of the penguin colors, and then everything kind of has the same tint to it. And then I'm trying to make sure that like the UI and stuff is neutral enough to be able to, same thing with the boxes, they're neutral enough to kind of exist in every biome. And I think it's starting to come together. I think I'm pretty happy with the art. It sucks that like some of the stuff is probably going to ship with what I consider suboptimal art, but that's like game development, man. That's like sometimes I don't think you could ever wait long enough to be like, okay, well now I'm satisfied with this game, so we're going to ship it. If you do that, you're going to go broke. Like you just, there's not enough time ever in any kind of creative field to like make something perfect, because one, perfect doesn't actually exist, but two, it's like there's a such thing as like working on it too long and working on it too much, not just from a commercial perspective, but from an art perspective, right? You put too many iteration cycles into something and you can just round out everything that made it interesting and just make it perfectly. Like balance is another thing that keeps coming up too, right? Like some units are really powerful and some units aren't, and there are people that are like, well, you gotta balance out the units, and part of me is like, not really though. It's a single player game, and some units should be better than other units, and it makes having shitty units makes finding the good units interesting, right? Like you're like, oh well, I was using that shitty unit, now I'm using a good unit. So like I don't think you should balance everything and make everything bland and boring. I think there should be some crazy chaotic things that can happen here and there. So that's why we're adding an interdimensional space clown that's going to randomly do shit to you. I don't know if that's a good idea. I have no clue. I can't. I'm in the middle of this, and I ship in 2 months. This is the fastest timeline I've ever made a game. This is also probably one of the most ambitious projects I've taken on. There's going to be 100 characters in this game. Something is wrong with my brain to try a 3-month project of this scale, learning art, making all of this stuff work. Something is up, but you know what? We're here, and this is what I'm trying to do, and I want to see if I can, like I said, my whole goal with this is to, one, make a casual fight strategy game that anybody can pick up and play, because I love strategy games, I hate learning them, and two, can I make back enough money in my monthly burn, which is about $2,000 a month? Can I make that back? Can I make 3 times $2,000 a month, $6,000 a month in month 1 to make this game profitable? Because so far I have yet to make a profitable game, and that's my goal. I want to make a profitable indie game, and if I do that, I want to do it again, because I'm a crazy person. But you know what? I'm going to share all the details every step of the way. That's why you're here. But meanwhile, I want to say thank you to these people right here. They help me keep doing what I'm doing. They are the reason I'm able to do crazy experiments like this, because of people that support me and help me do what I'm doing. And I really, really appreciate everybody that's part of the Patreon. I appreciate all the viewers too. Nothing wrong with viewing. If you watch my videos, you help me out every single day, and I'm super appreciative of that. But I appreciate the Patreons too, taking an extra step and putting their money where their mouth is and help me out. I really, really appreciate it. If you want your name on that list, you can head over to patreon.com/GameDevUnderground. There's tools and training that help you build, finish, and launch better games. And hopefully there will be lots of stuff that I learn from this game that I can then share, because it's quite a learning experience. This is the second time I'm building out a commercial game, but it's crazy. Like, it feels completely different, but it feels completely the same. Like, it's weird. Like, it's the same process, but it's like I feel transcended, and now it's like level 2 of doing the same thing over and over again. So I'll share everything I learned along the way. I appreciate you being a part of it. I appreciate you being here. My name is Tim Ruswick, and I'll talk to you again soon.